and welcome to this tutorial on how to make this basic top. You can find the link to the pattern in the description of this video. You will need elastic jersey, ideally with about 80% stretch, and a regular sewing machine. You can use an overlock if you want to. You will need some clips or pins, and that is all. So let's get started. I start by cutting out my pattern pieces. And don't forget to mark the notches as well. I'm just cutting out a triangle where my notches are. And since I'm making the t-shirt view, I'm just folding over the excess of my sewing pattern. And I'm cutting the cuff piece. And these are all pattern pieces. We only need 4. Now I'm putting the front and back right sides together, and I'm sewing the shoulder seams together with my overlock, but you can also use a zigzag stitch on your regular sewing machine. Then I'm aligning the notches of the sleeve to the shoulder seam and the back notch of the back piece. And I'm pinning it to the armhole all around. And now I'm going to sew. Again, if you're using your regular sewing machine, just use any stretch stitch. And this is the finished result for this seam. Now we can move on to putting the top right sides together and sewing the side seams on both sides. Make sure to align the underarm seams. And that's it. Now we move on to the collar. If you're making the turtleneck, the steps are the same. We sew together the short side, then we fold it over like so. I like to stitch this to keep it in place. And then I mark my halves and quarters on the neckline as well. I align them, slightly stretch the collar piece while I sew. And here we have the finished collar. Now the last step is to sew the hem. I like to use my twin needle for this. You can also just use a zigzag stitch if you don't have a twin needle. But you can also decide to make a lattice hem, for example. I also have a short tutorial for that. And you can also make an open hem, just leave the raw edge open, which is also possible for lots of jerseys that don't fray. Using a twin needle is super easy though, and I can only recommend it. And this is the finished result. It's super versatile. You can combine it with anything you like. You can layer it. You can make the long sleeve version, the longer hip length version. Yeah, I really love this pattern because it's super versatile. And if you like this tutorial and if you enjoyed sewing along with me, make sure to like, comment, tell me what you think, and follow along for more sewing tutorials and sewing patterns. See you in the next one. Bye!